Today I'm going to take you through how I clean my living room. I'm going to go step by step and give you a couple tricks and hacks on how to do it as quickly as possible. My table is pretty dirty because my son loves this table. He crawls all over it. So yeah, the first step you're going to do is you're going to dust. And again, you're going to spray on the rag. And then you're going to dust high, medium, and low. And there's two ways you actually can do this. You can either stay in one area of the room and you just go high, medium, low, like we talked about. I'm going to show you right here, like I did the top, then I'll do the medium, and then I'm going to do all the way down. Another way of cleaning that some people like is usually start one area of the room and you just go clockwise. You start high all the way around, you go medium all the way low, and then you go all the way low at the end. A thing people tend to forget is the radiators. A lot of times you just do on top of them. Make sure you get in them and make sure you get under them as well. There's so much dust in there. So in regards to the tables, I always spray directly the glass spray on if it's a glass table. Again, I'm dusting, so I'm still staying at the edges of the room and going all the way around. So this part I'm dusting above my sofa in the window. Again, there's two ways of dusting. You can either go around the stuff you have or you move the stuff and go under. Again, it depends on how much time you have and depends on how often you do it. You really don't have to move everything every time you clean. Again, I would just recommend doing it at least once a month. So in regards to pictures you have, just make sure that you're doing the top of the frame, you do the baseboard of the frame as well, and also in front of it if it's really dusty. Here, I'm going to do the whole picture and then the floorboards, and of course I'm going to do the table as well. So at this point I've gotten to one of the last sections of the windows. Again, just make sure you get the windowsill because that's something that people tend to forget. Another thing is you can always open the window and get in between. I'm not going to do it here today because it's in the evening and it's cold, but again, I'm moving all the pictures, getting under. I'm going to make sure I get the radiators at the bottom as well. And this is my son on the table behind me. So this next part, I have radiators and they're behind a lot of plants and tables. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually move out the tables and just kind of get behind it. Again, you don't always have to move all your furniture. This is an easy, very light table, so that's why I'm going to move it out and just show you guys. And again, make sure you get under the radiator. So this is the last part of the dusting routine, and this is my TV stand, and the TV stand always gets really dusty, especially because it is a darker color. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go, you start all the way in the back, you're going to dust out towards you, and you can push the dust onto the floor because that's why we do the floors last. And again, just, make sure after you do that, you wipe down the front of the cabinets as well, especially if you have kids, because their little hands will get all over the cabinets as much as possible. So again, start in the back, move towards you, and then do the front of the cabinets. A thing I forgot to film is a lot of times when I have cabinets, stuff like that, if I can get under my arm, I'll get under and I'll just wipe the floor and wipe some of the bigger crumbs out. It's way easier than using the vacuum. So next part, I'm just going to clean up and put all of Vigo's toys away. A lot of people would start by putting away the toys and tidying up before dusting everything else, but because he's there with me cleaning alongside, it is 100 times easier to just do that before vacuuming, because if I put all the toys away and start dusting, trust me, he will start taking all the toys out, so I'm just doubling up the work. So that is why I'm doing it now. A small organization hack, again, just use as many baskets you have of books. It is the easiest thing with kids because they can pull it out and it's easy to clean up. Whenever you've dusted around the room, you would go and do the furniture that's in the middle of the room. So right, only two things I have are my two tables and a couple of chairs. So those you would wipe down now because it's in the middle of the room. And again, I do this so I remember. You go around the room so you remember to get everything, and then after that you do the two tables or whatever you have in your room and wipe it down. What I'll start out with is just spraying down Vigo's high chair because there's a lot of food particles, and just let it sit and soak so it's easy to get off. From there, I'll wipe down my dining room table again. I start on the top and then I'll go bottom, and make sure you get the edges too because those can get really dusty. And then from there, I always just wipe the floor under the table because Vigo likes to eat and he's doing it by himself, so he, drops a lot of stuff. So from here, I'm just going to vacuum the room. Again, when we vacuum professionally, we start at one end and we make our way out to the door. It doesn't really matter if you're cleaning your own home. Again, I like to start on one end and just kind of go around. Make sure you're pulling stuff out, especially the garbage. It gets, you miss stuff, it gets really dirty, so pull stuff out and just vacuum around as much as possible. Again, I try to move out as much stuff as possible that is not too heavy of my furniture. and then I just vacuum around and under it. Again, if you're not going to move everything out, like my sofa's really heavy, just do the edges under there because there tends to be a lot of crumbs right around the sofa and under stuff because it's stuff you don't see every day. Remember, when you're vacuuming, you have to actually vacuum over a spot 3 times. When you push forward, you're getting particles up, and when you pull backwards, that's actually what's sucking. So again, you can always do a quick vacuum. Of course, it's always going to help, but when you really want to vacuum, you want to vacuum one area 3 times to really make sure you get everything. Sometimes if you haven't vacuumed in a long time, it's good to just take a Swiffer and just get under. It's easy to bend down, or you can bend down on your hands and knees and just wipe all the food particles and dust out. So one thing people tend to forget to do is under mats, for example, or shoes. So a lot of times here, like I'm going to move my shoes out and I'm going to vacuum under them. Vigo's trying to move the mat, he knows the drill. But yeah, so then I'm going to move the mat, I'm going to shake it. Again, you can open the door, shake it outside, it's probably smarter. I just did it inside because I already had the vacuum on me. Next part, I'm just going to mop my floors. Again, you just want to start in one area and move your way out. A lot of times, if you're using or doing one room, you want to start at one end and then move your way towards the door. And this is Vigo playing with the soap, and this is why I need to start making my own products and using all natural. So this is the finished product with my spin mop. There is some areas that the spin mop does not get where you really have to get down on your hands and knees, or you can use a steam mop. I absolutely love my steam mop. So I'm going to kind of show you here what I do. There's some areas where there's some food particles, especially where Vigo eats. What you want to do is you just take a steam mop and you just put it over and you go back and forth a little bit. Because it has steam coming out, it just kind of breaks up the food particles, and here I'm slowly showing you how it works. I highly recommend using a steam mop. I absolutely love it. I usually use it on my floor, especially in the kitchen, dining room area, in the bathrooms. I'll have a couple recommendations in the link below. So the last part of this video, I'm just going to tidy up a little bit, fix up the shoes, make sure the rug is down. I'm going to fix the pillows, always makes it look a little bit nicer. And my kid curled up on the table again, which is great. And I always like to end the clean with just lighting a candle to make everything just smell amazing, and moving the chairs as much as possible. And that's pretty much it. Here's the finished product. Comment below if there's any videos you want us to see, and subscribe for more.